feeling, spice everything nice. Start being healing, shine your light, intersection, forward movement, left or right, uncomfortable in comfort zones, that's first in flight, stars align, start that business, curiosity in the cat, mind your business for time being, find a new meaning, astral travels, lucid dreamers, heads or tails, deuce in the quarter, I keep them colors and the lines, I'm out the border, 126 who got confetti, I get serene, the Serengeti, I don't need everybody's spaghetti, Mother Nature or open the levees, everybody got some tarot, tell me what you getting, hit the like button, if this verse is hitting, life got direction, no signal light blinking, print that map quest, cause my past life dripping, my cousin asked me about October 4th, I'm somewhere reciting poems with the source of course, I'm the lyrical sorceress with a distinctive voice, I'm feeling like Denise Williams.
Every day is just like, okay, what's next? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Um, Everybody has different anticipations on what's going on. Some people are, and again, you create your own reality. So whatever your focus has been on, a lot of people's focus has been on gloom and doom, and so they've created an algorithm of anticipating gloom and doom. And then you have others, like us. We've been doing the work, we've been doing the labor, we've been reading, we've been studying, we've been doing these meditations, prayers, journaling, whatever it is, sitting in nature, breathing, laughing. And so that generally is going to be the our portion, is what you're going to look for. I you know,
Hmm.
I just started really acknowledging that algorithm is prophecy. And so, you can just look at what you've been doing and know what you're going to do, you know? Look at the choices that we've made, and we now get to make decisions. Decisions hold much more weight than choices, because choices is an uninformed, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We choose, but decisions come with experience. So based off of choices that I've made and the experience that I got for that, I've made certain decisions, and the decision is the commitment. And so we're all in a committed space, a committed place, a committed algorithm, right? Of growth, harmony,
That's
those
it.
kind of things. It's not absent of challenges. What it's absent of is fear, right? So it's just like, okay, what's next? And you're just ready to take it on, whatever it is, without the fear, right? So, Love Pearl Wish Box unboxing. That is one hell of a title.
I know, right? Yeah, that's the like link to that video. We was talking about the pearl, and in that video, that's like a link to the video. But like, yeah, today's show is called "Answering Your True Calling." But definitely, like when I got that pearl, it felt like it was connected to my calling. It just called out to me, and I was just like, just trying to find like some souvenirs when I was on vacation, and I ended up finding this love pearl box. I ain't never seen nothing like it. But you get this clam, and you pretty much before you open the clam, you thank the clam for its sacrifice, and you thank it, and you make a wish, and then you open the clam, and you get this pearl outside of the clam, and then you put the clam on your necklace, and you wear the pearl with you, and your wish is granted. Um, you know, like after you,
That's awesome.
yeah. So that was some powerful stuff. Yeah, just like I decided to put it out there because we was talking about the pearl, and how Miss Blue was talking about how the pearl is like connected to your, like a memory. It holds memory. It stores the
Mm.
essence of that person inside the pearl, whoever wears it.
Yeah, I
And what
know
she
that
said, you can even
scripture she
pass
was
it down.
saying.
I am in the, it reminded me of that quilt you was talking about, how she referred to it as like you pass the pearl down. So like when I have a daughter or a niece, I could pass that down to her.
And
Oh, absolutely. Go in life, you keep that with you, you know?
Yeah.
because you're also adding to the energy, and she will, her presence will be felt more because it's you. Not so much if she's coming to connect with her own energy, but she's coming to connect with your energy. So I think that that's pretty cool. Well, when you were talking about the pearls, there's the one scripture that had just come to mind was like, don't cast your pearls amongst the swine, right? And pearls
Mm.
is like your wisdom, something that you hold sacred. Like, just don't go around giving your pearls just to anybody or anything, because they should hold value, they should hold weight. So it gets us to question, how do we value something? How do we show that something is sacred? How do we treat that? We all need to take a step and reevaluate what we call sacred, and how do we value that. How do we bring value? How do we continue to add value? And like Rippin said, he just found his mother's 90. So now he's going to turn it into something for him to, add his essence to bring more value to it. So even like Brittany, you with the things that's in your home that, because I know you haven't really touched your home or changed anything. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of essence there for you to take some things and recreate, or, add to the value for yourself, myself included. So many things that I'm finding myself in a position of identifying things that I value, like that I really, really value, so that, you know, it just won't be. We have a tendency to, me, I have a tendency to hoard things, right? But it's okay to let things go. But
Mm.
you do that by really giving the things that you want value, instead of just like, I just want to hold on. Well, we really need to go and define the value. We really need to know. There used to be a hardware store called True Value Hardware Store.
Yes, I
I
remember
don't,
that. True
yeah,
value.
I
They
don't
still
think
have
that they.
those.
Okay, I was going to say, because I don't know if they have them or not. And so it's just like, what's the true value of your hardware, your software, your wetware, right? All of these things, what's the true value of these things? And it's time for us to actually go ahead and evaluate these, and it's okay because we have the time, right? We want to know what true is for us, all of these things, and these conversations, these workshops, these meditations, these life experiences are really putting us into the forefront of what true is. So, like, what's true for me is totally understanding, more than I want anything else. I want a clean bill of health for as long as I could sustain it, because that is so prevalent to me. Being able to breathe, being able to sleep, like the simplest things. I would rather have that stuff over any wealth, any riches, because that stuff is easily attainable when you're doing what you love. But when you don't feel good, when you got things that you're worried or concerned about, you kind of won't be able to do what you love. And that's my real understanding, my real truth. So this back and forth has got me to understand that the thing I value more than anything is the health and wellness of myself and my family. I can survive anything else, like, disappointments, no shoes, you know, like, those things are so, my mind is in such a different place. Having a clean bill of health is having a wealth of energy, right? And if you can transmute that into finances, if you need to, you can transmute that into whatever. Energy never dies. And so when you're an alchemist, the ultimate energy is your health and wellness. And then everything else builds off of that. So for me, that's my true calling, is for me to make sure that I can breathe, right? That I'm eating good, my body is good, and that I can sleep. Having a good night's sleep is a flex, it's a brag. So I want to
For
be able
real.
to, have that instead of saying, look at my Gucci bag, look at my shoes. No, I get a good night's sleep. Like, yeah, so I don't have to take melatonins. I don't want to have to, take a Benadryl or I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with, you know what I'm saying? Just sleeping good at night, being on that rhythm that puts you in a great pause, that's resetting everything. That's what I want. I want that. What I used to have as a kid. I want that energy. I want all of that. So that's my true calling right now, right? It's not to serve anybody else right now. Right now in this moment, my true calling, answering my true calling is the true calling, because nobody's going
Oh
to save
wow.
us from us, right?
Mm,
Nobody is coming to save us. So
that's true.
answering, being the answer for your true calling is also a wonderful thing. And this we are afforded this time right now to be able to really step into that and look at what that really means individually, collectively, as a soul family, right? You can tell we are starting to really value our
Hmm.
soul family in these conversations, right? That you guys are a part of my considerations now when I consider things, and the auspiciousness of your gifts. I'm able to reflect on when you use them, how you use them, and make certain choices and decisions just based off of the soul family. The foundation of fellowship is an energy
Mm.
now that I am able to speak into, and it's also able to be spoken into me, right?
That's
So
it.
it's an investment. And so, these values, uh is right now, really valuing things is my true calling. It's the answer that I have for my
Ooh.
calling. Because my calling, your calling, our calling never stops ringing, right? Your calling at any given moment could be the baby on the corner that's saying hello. Your calling at any given moment could be talking to the tree that you go past. That call, it never stops and will never stop answering, right? Because we are the answer. So if we're the answer, we got to value who we are at all times, value why you are at all times, right? And when you do that, right? That's the energy, that's the currency that you will ride off of and what we'll live off of. And as an alchemist, energy never dies. And so you can turn that energy into anything, whatever you need, whatever you want, however, So, yeah, that's how I'm seeing that, the title for that. And don't cast your pearls to the swine. That means
That's it.
value your conversations, value who you talk to. And right now it's
Hmm.
just literally been my family and my soul family,
That's
right?
it.
Not that I'm being antisocial or anything, but the things and the people that are on my algorithm, that's what it is, you know
Yeah, those are the people in your algorithm. That's what you're giving your energy to. Because, like you said, we don't even have the capacity to, take on any extra energy. It's just,
I
you know,
made that mistake today, and I'm like, damn, we not doing this again.
mm-mm. Go down that path.
and that's the thing. Value. What is the value? What is the worth of it? And when you do that, because it's okay. When I go in the thrift stores, can I go quite often? I look around for what is going to add value to me, not necessarily somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm looking around at things that will add value and not take away. If it's going to take away, meaning, I'm not going to use it, I'm not going to utilize it, or I'm not going to make any money off of it, and I'm just bringing it home, then it's not adding any value. It's just taking up space. And we're charged with holding space, right? We got to
Mm,
hold space for
mm.
people. And so the more things we put into our space, the less room we have to hold space. So we really, really got to value our conversations, value
Yes.
where we go, value what we buy, right? Because the governments and merchants and people who are in the business of marketing and selling, they don't, they're just trying to sell you some shit, right?
That's
Everybody's sitting around trying to buy bullshit. You know, if you can convince me that I should release my dollars for this, then you got a customer. I'm sold.
mm,
Well, I'm not living in that world anymore where I need people to show me what I want before I even knew I wanted it. I'm not in that world. I'm the author and the finisher of my own self, right? And of the things that I desire and I need. My desire is enough to show and teach me what I need and what I want and what is a value of it. And
Preach.
again, this is the answer because you're the answer to your calling. You're the answer to your calling. So, what's calling you, right? How do you know what's calling you? How are you listening? What are you observing? You could observe something so long that it actually starts to communicate to you just from observation. Just from observation. And it's a real science to it. And so there has to be a point in our lives where we have a protocol of how we observe ourselves, right? So we can keep up with our growth, keep up with, um, you know, we change every 7 years. We're a whole new person. Even in a marriage, when you're married, and people, they get married and they have their wedding vows, they have a renewal ceremony because they've grown and they're not the same person or people they were when they got married. So an amendment to that contract to add or subtract things that may fit who they are now better is something better to do to govern that relationship. And so we are the same, even as individuals. I'm not the same person I was, not too long ago. So I have to do some checks and balances to make sure that my value system is up to date with my growth, right? It was at one point I absolutely loved buying shoes, but I've grown since then. And not to say that I had to grow from loving shoes, just not loving them so much is the truth of my growth. That's not everybody's truth. So now my value system has changed. So I have to make sure that those are in harmony with one another, that so I won't be running on an old program in a new reality. Don't want to be, off center. And again, this is when you answer your calling. So as
Mm,
long as you are answering your calling, right, you'll
right.
always upgrade, you'll always, you know add the value, you'll always, because the calling is the thing that causes you to be the answer. It's causing you to be the answer. You're the answer. So whatever you know and whatever you say, it goes. But what you say got to match what you think, and it got to match what you do. That's the harmony of yourself. So that's the answer. That's the process of being the answer. It's a process. When I went into the Akashic records, and I that book of yes, I just have an entire book of yes.
That
And
is
it's
so
just like,
powerful.
yeah,
Yeah.
just an
Every time you say
entire
that, it give
book
me the chills. Ooh,
of yes. And
yes.
so that let me know that I am the answer to the calling. Who's making the call? It's the higher self. Again, this being remotely activated, right? Like I can literally feel my higher self pressing certain buttons. I was what was I doing today? Because I'm still doing the Juice in July raw eating, and I was in the grocery. I was in the grocery store, and I'm at a point where now I could feel the challenge. This is like day 12. And so I was seeing different things in the grocery store and I would go towards it. And then I would automatically turn and I could hear the negotiation with myself. No argument. I could hear the negotiating, the reasoning. And it would automatically cause me to turn away. And then the logic and the comfort afterwards, just like I could feel every step of the negotiating with myself, not
Wow.
arguing, like literally negotiating, you know? And so it's just like, wow. And so my ability to be obedient to the call makes me the answer. It makes me the answer, right? And again, the calling for me is for me to be in my purpose, but I am the purpose. And so at any given moment, wherever my heart is, if the person in front of me, they smile right at that moment, that's my ministry. If I'm having a conversation, that's my ministry because it's me, right? Being
Mm.
the answer is just simply being who you are, and
Because who's
allowing,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, who's placing the call? You calling out to you.
Absolutely.
A call and
You
response.
calling out all of the meditating, all of the
Hmm.
prayers. These were conversations to you, right? These are the conversations to you. And so valuing those things,
Hmm.
and expecting when you value something, when you invest in something, you expect a return.
That's it.
So I'm in a position